Hey lads and lasses, Morten Aastad here. Welcome to my channel. How are you all going? I wanted to enter a contest to promote a channel that I just become aware of, thanks to Vegemite. And the channel is a channel by an Australian from Western Australia, WA or VA, called Lloyd Boon. Lloyd Boon is celebrating 1 year back in the sort of the YouTube vinyl community due to various reasons. I'll let him tell you that when you head over to his channel. He would like to get back to probably want to get back to the subscribers he used to have, and I think he wants now to get to 250 subscribers. And who am I to not help him in that endeavour? As some of you know who've seen my channel for a while, I love Australian things, despite some, let's call them Aussie setbacks in my life. And so the competition is as follows. One, sorry about the noise. Big city, I could close the windows, but I'd suffocate in the quite warm Scandinavian, yeah, I guess we call it summer by now. So number one, I mean, sure, go head over and subscribe to his channel. You don't have to do all this stuff, but if you want to be in the competition and potentially win 60 Australian dollars, one, you have to subscribe. Two, show 2 albums you think deserve to be shown or heard. Now, I went for CDs here because I wanted to make this a little pertinent to where he is from, which is Australia. Number 3, what is your favorite food? Number 4, what do you do for a living? Number 5, do you play any instruments? And if you don't, why? And number 6, I'll tell him you've entered. So, right. Let's get started. First, I'd like to show you some CDs from a band called Spiderbait, and they look like this. Here's one. Tonight all right. You got this one, and you also have this one, which was my first. It's a sort of a hard rock electronica band, indie, and they became. They had a hit with a song called Black Betty, which is a rendition of theirs of a 1930s song, if I remember correctly. They're from Finley in New South Wales, formed in 1989, and well, this is the first thing I ever heard from them, Glockenpop. It was Rebecca, my one-time Australian girlfriend, who introduced me to them, and to be honest, I haven't listened to any of this in many years now, and I probably should, because it's fun stuff. And the next ones I actually bought through hmv.com.au, isn't it? Later, even though I was sort of trying to not remind myself of her and that whole Australian time, but it's not Australia's fault, so that's the reason for that. But it's good fun, and I think it would be an experience. And obviously, I would love to have these on vinyl. I'd love to have everything I have on vinyl as well. That's unfortunately how my brain works. The other one, also introduced to me by Rebecca, but I've been listening on and off to their records for ever since. The first one I got, either she sent me or I bought it when I was there, and the second one I bought online a couple of years later and got shipped to Scandinavia. It is a band called Killing Heidi, and this is their debut album, Reflector. I need my cheat sheet for this. Killing Heidi is from, oh god, where was it? Violet Town in Victoria. So, sort of Ben Rankins' home turf there. Well, not. This is like 27 kilometers away or something from Melbourne. They formed in 1996, and two of the band members who are brother and sister, or sister and brother, Ella and Jesse Hooper. And Jesse, I don't know how old he was, but he can't have been very old. But Ella was 13 years old when they formed Killing Heidi in 1996. And when they broke through in 1999, and their debut album, I think, came out in 2000. But around that time, I remember when Rebecca told me about them, and she sent me a couple of their singles from before this first album came out. Actually, I think I have them somewhere, but I think they're down in Denmark. Actually, at the time she was only, Ella was only 17, and they had a big success with their debut album. They won a various amount of area awards. And then in 2002, they released their second album, Present. There we are. I didn't like this as much as their first, for many reasons, probably. Well, I thought maybe it was a little lacking in pop sensibilities, but you can see it's got the HMV sticker there, because back in those days Australia had an HMV, and you could actually buy records from HMV online and have them shipped to various countries. Now you can't even buy from HMV in the UK and have them shipped outside of the UK, so there you go. And that's not even Brexit's fault. They stopped doing that years ago. So yeah, limited edition, includes CD and DVD, featuring full-length videos and band history. So there they are. Very cool to still have this. So thanks for the competition and reminding me to check these things out. They released one more album in, I think it was 2004 or 5. And then they went on sort of indefinite hiatus in 2006. And they actually haven't released any records since, although they did start playing and touring again in 2016. So that was a little bit of Australian music from for you there, from a Scandinavian person. Sorry, I don't have. I wish I had some South African, no, some Australian rugby shirts and stuff. There's a line of. I've been trying to buy them online, but they sell out and they're very expensive to ship here. There's some. I love Aboriginal art, and there's several of the teams, or all the teams, have a jersey each year which celebrates Aboriginal heritage, and they're really cool. So, next question. What are your favorite foods? It changes quite often, and I'll have something that I really love, and I'll make it a lot, and then I'll have a break from it, and then suddenly 3 years have passed, and I've forgotten all about it. So I do love Indian food in proper Indian restaurants. My attempt at making it is not so good. I love pizzas, American style pizzas, because here in Norway, Norwegians are the people on this planet who eat the most pizza, and compared to the size of the population. And we don't eat pizza like like the rest of Europe does. We eat American-style pizzas because an American and his Norwegian wife returned to Norway in the late 60s and started a restaurant which turned into a restaurant chain called Pepper's Pizza, and they have thick American crusts and all that stuff. So, Italian-style pizzas is sort of look a little bit, yeah, bit of a snobbery in the eyes of a Norwegian, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I like pizza. I like anything I can put mustard on. So, sourdough sandwiches with curated salty pork and some maybe a little extra sharp cheddar. One of those with a little bit of crunch in it, and then slathered in all kinds of mustard. I love mustard, and when I can get it, I love Vegemite. So at the moment, I haven't been able to eat anything with Vegemite for a while because I had 2 sources of Vegemite online, and they both stopped selling it. And Vegemite, I don't think, is allowed to be sold in grocery stores in Norway. Marmite is, but I never liked Marmite. I don't even like. I tried New Zealand Marmite, and that for some reason I thought was too sweet. There you go. So yeah, pizza, Indian food, Italian food, but yeah, sandwiches with cheese and salty meat and lots of mustard. Love mustard. Next one is what do you do for a living? At the moment, I am on extended sick leave, and I have a degree in tourist industry related things. I worked in tourist offices, and that's what made me return to Norway when I was living in Denmark. I shouldn't have done that. To go to school to learn about it. I had an option to do that in Copenhagen as well, but it was more expensive, and I would have to go back and look for a flat again, which I'd recently vacated because I lived in Copenhagen for a while, and so I went back to Oslo, and then I ended up working for a while in Oslo's international airport in the ticketing there for a company called oh my god, what was it called again? It was a French company that did everything but fly planes. So customer services, ticketing, sales, ticketing. The biggest Norwegian contractor or company was the airline Norwegian, and they stood for about 50% of their revenue, and then they pulled the plug, and they reduced their employees by 50%, and whoever had come in first had to go. So I actually had the honor of having to teach some guy from baggage claim my ticketing job, and then I was out of a job. But fairly quickly after, I was asked by the Trafikanten, the traffic company handling all public, all customer service for the public transport systems in Oslo. And I went for an interview, and I got the job there. And it wasn't tourism, but it was, it's right smack bang in the middle of Oslo, near the central train station. Later on, at a ticket office for our ferries down by the harbour, which I absolutely loved. But then we got bought out by the big company running public transport in Oslo. They closed that office down at the harbour, and it was going towards less and less hands-on public service, and also the COVID thing came, and I basically sat indoors in here doing phone work for almost the entire duration of the whole COVID thing, and that impacted my health a bit quite a bit actually, and also I got COVID, and lost my sense of taste, and didn't sat indoors a lot, and it had a detrimental effect on my health, which wasn't too good from earlier, and I was worried about the future of my job and everything. And finally, I went to the doctor and said, I'm not doing so well, and you're really not doing well. So, try to get back on some sort of form again, but for now, I'm trying to take better care of myself, and that for as probably even more than I should have said. Next one up was, do I play any instruments? No, I don't. I played trumpet in the school band, because here in Norway that's a big deal, because of the 17th of May, our Constitution Day. All the children walking in parades, and the parade is usually led by the school band, and so I did that for a while. I wanted to play drums, but they had enough drummers, so they didn't want more, so hardly any kids wanted to play trumpet. I had to play second trumpet. That basically meant you weren't playing the songs. You had to play this background noise, and I hated that. Also, when we got a dog, a boxer dog, of course, he was not a very big fan of me. Rehearsing. He would. I had to close the door, and he would just basically jump on it and bang his big paws on it and howl. God, he hated that trumpet. So sometimes when I put my trumpet away and locked it in the case, he would run up to it and do that box stomp on top of the case and bark at it. So yeah, that quite the music critic there. I got a drum set later on, and loved playing those. Tried to get to. We had 1.5 bands in my class in high school, and I tried to sort of get in good enough, but I never been that good at making contacts and getting together with the people who would probably be beneficial for my future and my career and my social life and all that stuff. I'm too much of a one-man show. And then after high school and being in the army for my national service, moved to a flat, and the drums were no longer an option, so I got rid of those. And my dad died, and I moved to Denmark. Where, funny enough, I guess I could have had a drum set, but I went to film school. That didn't pan out, and you know all the rest. So, no, I don't play, and I have had guitars, and I try to learn them, but especially I had a wonderful electric guitar, which was one of the very last Christmas presents my dad gave me before he passed away, and that unfortunately got stolen by some arseholes down there in Denmark, so don't have that anymore. And that's it. And last thing I have to do is tell Lloyd that I've entered the competition. Probably have to do a lot of editing because this got a lot longer than it was supposed to be. So head over to his channel. I'll leave links. Do the competition, or just subscribe to his channel. There's a good lad. There's a good lass. Thank you. What am I saying? Yeah, thanks guys for watching my channel, and maybe you could click like and subscribe as well. That make me very happy. Cheers guys, see you later.